Continuing with the 60s, 1961 had these three spectacle movies and was also the beginning of comics such as Asterix and the Fantastic Four. I have very fond memories about the former. It's a very fun action-adventure comedy combo. The heroes were always over-leveled compared to their opponents though. Outside of rare exceptions, don't expect tension. As for the latter, I have bad memories. And an overview about it in case you wanna know why. 1962 had these four spectacle movies. It's historically the beginning of the James Bond movie franchise. They have made dozens of them at this point, some good, some terrible. And like all things, anything the woke left touches, it turns to shit. It's also historically the beginning of video games, with Space War being considered the very first game made on a computer for entertainment. It's obviously nothing impressive nowadays, it's just two symbols using inertia as they shoot each other. 1963 had only Cleopatra as a spectacle movie. Unlike what the leftists say, she wasn't black. In fact, she was Greek. From TV series, this is the beginning of Doctor Who, a franchise that has been airing irregularly all the way to now. The early seasons weren't particularly good, they were mostly low-budget recreations of famous historical events. The series hit its peak with Tom Baker, which is the one I grew up with, for being mostly about alien invasions with constant thriller cliffhangers. Eventually the Wokes took over and completely destroyed the show, but even before that the quality of every arc was completely uneven. Some were good, some were terrible. As a whole, it's a low-budget sci-fi horror adventure where you never know what you are getting next. It's fun to follow it for the occasional highlight, but that aside, it's complete chaos. 1963 is also the beginning of anime TV series, with Astro Boy and Tetsujin 28 being the first titles that kick-started all the major genres. And that's all they did. Outside of historical importance, nobody cares about them anymore. They tried to remake 60s anime so many times, and none of them had a lasting impact. People just don't like the art style. And there is even more, since 1963 is also the beginning of the other popular Marvel comics. Spider-Man had by far the best beginning, and it's why it became a smash hit, until the X-Men surpassed him during the late 70s thanks to a soft reboot. Then they all lost their way in the early 2000s, the woke took over and completely ruined them. 1964 had a very slow but otherwise tense political thriller about the use of nuclear weapons, a very famous satire about the use of the very same nuclear weapons, because women always want to steal your body fluids, and the first of several badass westerns by Sergio Leone. 1965 had one amazing period drama that shows the wonderful effects of communism, and the second badass western by Sergio Leone. It's also the year the first Dune book was published, and guess what I'm gonna say? Classic sci-fi books are boring to read. The first one is not bad in this case, it has a ton of things going on in it. It can be cool as long as you don't think about the plot and how everyone behaves like they are mentally challenged. But as soon as you move to the second book, it just becomes a boring political debate, so fuck it. 1966 had the third badass western by Sergio Leone. From TV series, this is the beginning of the Star Trek franchise, or as I like to call it, space communists seduce every alien woman they come across before getting horribly murdered by a space anomaly. Like the previous franchises that keep going irregularly to this day, they had their ups and downs until they got completely destroyed by the woke left. Best period? Late 90s with Deep Space Nine. Worst period? The modern times with Star Trek Discovery. And finally, this is the year when Adam West Batman began airing and gave the world the hero's silliest version imaginable. Where would civilization be without this garish satire of completely nonsensical plots? 1967 has only one standout movie. It's a satire about men grooming a feminist woman into becoming a trad wife. Very funny and educational. 1968 has a lot of interesting titles with its standout movies. It has the movie that began the zombie craze in fiction. It has a trippy animated musical, the OG Men and Apes Flipping Roles, the fourth badass western by Sergio Leone, and one of the most classic sci-fi movies of all time. From books, it has the one Blade Runner was based on and which eventually became one of the cornerstones of cyberpunk. Also, the first of the Earthsea Cycle books came out, which everybody praises for its amazing world building. As always, I'm just gonna say they were boring to read. Take the fancy setting away and they have nothing. 1969 has Paint Your Wagon, the best musical western dramedy I know of and which everybody has forgotten. The Bridget Remagen is a very good World War II action drama, which again everybody has forgotten. And the most memorable of them is Easy Rider, which is an insight to the lifestyle of bikers and the supposed freedom that comes with it. From TV series, two of the most famous comedies began airing this year, and because they had close to none of the restrictions of today, they were hilarious, even when they were offending morality values. And finally, 1970 has 4 military movies in its standouts. Some make fun of war, some glorify war. As a whole, war is still a very important theme in the 60s. The 5th movie standout is also the 6th Western movie I liked, and also the one I liked the most. A complete mindfuck of someone who wants to be the best cowboy in the world, and then a lot of weird things happen. You wanna talk about real subversions? Well, this is it. It is so special it deserves to be part of my all-time favorites. That aside, this is the year when Moorcock began writing books about the Eternal Champion, the most famous of which are the Erlik of Merlibone. Now, these books are historically important because up until now, when it comes to epic fantasy, almost everyone was trying to copy the Lord of the Rings instead of trying to make something different. Then Moorcock appears and doesn't stop shitting on Tolkien's work as if it was his fault everybody else was copying him, and keeps saying his work is much deeper because his protagonists are anti-heroes who constantly challenge their status and suffer through mental trauma. Meaning, stop copying Tolkien, he's not a good writer, copy him instead. And then you read his stories and the writing is terrible. Hardly any scenery descriptions, characters are a paper thing, nothing but plot devices, deus ex machinas, and protagonists who constantly sabotage themselves for the sake of edgy situations where everybody dies horribly. Moorcock was just an edgelord writing dark and edgy stories where everyone was an asshole and the entire world always gets massacred in the end. And yes, he did have his copycats eventually, the most famous of which was Salvatore, who wrote about the edgelord dark elf known as Drizzt Do'Urden. Meanwhile, Tolkien is still famous and beloved today, while Moorcock and Salvatore are just footnotes. Lastly, this was the year Ashitano Joe began airing. It counts as the first actually good anime for having a real underdog, not the fake ones of today, actually struggling to improve his life. I'm not a fan of the boxing theme, and the animation is so limited, the punches often have no punch. That aside, it's the oldest anime that stands the test of time, and it inspired so many people, it even became the catchphrase of communist terrorists. I'm not joking, watch the reference in Good News from 2025, which, spoiler, it's the best movie of this year. And that's it with the standouts of the 60s. I only like one title from the whole decade. Worst year was 1967, the best year is a tie between 1968 and 1970. Next up, we move to the 70s.